Over the last few years, as most of you know, I've been doing intensive treatment sessions and 2 days of treating people so that you can observe advanced body torque working, observe the way I work, and most of you have also received treatments from me, of course, and the feedback's always been great about it, and the fact that they fill up so quickly whenever we put it on the web means they're obviously well received. But one of the things I have noticed is that some of the techniques I do, even from the basic modules, as it were, I do in a sort of a different way, and people love it, but they don't feel adequate in being able to do it themselves. One of the key ones in that is what we call body vivaxis, which is learnt in the module 4.7, where we're looking at a manipulation of things like viscera and various different parts of the body using energy. And you're taught it, and you're taught basic principles of it, but and you know, a lot of you have got it working fairly well and are able to do little movements of moving a stomach down a bit or helping to bring a bladder up a little bit or moving kidneys around. But a lot of people have struggled with it as far as they don't seem to get convincing results, and even the ones who are limited by it. And what in fact they've seen with me is how dramatically I am getting things to shift, that I am literally moving lungs around and hemispheres of the brain, and I'm lifting drop uteruses back up into position and reorganizing the structure of the small intestine. And nowadays also going into depth, where I'm going into the brain and working individually with little sections of the brain and moving the amygdala in position and changing the different structures within the brain. And of course nowadays I'm actually also going deep into using a cell as a surrogate and working with the DNA strands and the way that the cells function. Now, this is exciting work because what people observe is that it works very, very well. And it goes back to my osteopathic background, where we've always said that structure governs function. And if the structure of the body is wrong, the function cannot function well. It's like if the heart is slightly distorted in its positioning, it can't beat properly. And therefore, its function is compromised. And if it's compromised, it's going to go through pathological changes, and it's going to affect the lung, circulation to the lung. It's going to affect its ability to store the information and to give instructions to the rest of the body. And so it goes on. Now, I've pondered this and thought, okay, well, what we really need is for everybody to feel confident with those techniques and to be able to do them. And the more I looked at what I was doing, I realized that there are a lot of protocols I use to do it that aren't taught in the basic module. And in this course, I'm going to go through all the protocols, the engaging of all 5 senses, for example, the way to focus, and various techniques to train yourself in that. And the principles of working both at the bigger level and at the microscopic level. And you know, what type of things you have to have in your mind, what type of things you need to do, and different ways of doing it, because sometimes you'll do it with mainly using visual sense, other times it's felt sense. Actually, the more of the senses you can bring in, the more powerful it is. So the way I see it is I need to explain that all in detail, and then we need to do practical together. I will treat a number of people, quite a number of people, demonstrating it. But then the whole idea is for the class to start working on each other, because there's always parts of the body that need correction, even if it's just reorganizing the structure of a muscle. And but I want you doing it so that I can watch you do it, and if necessary, guide your hands and help you into the process. I'll also be doing group sessions, treatments, in order to help that whole process come together for you. Because my goal is, over that couple of days, is to give you the confidence to go out and use those techniques, because anyone who watches me now in the last year or so, you'll see I rarely have a patient that I don't do quite a lot of body vivaxis work. And it's really something that's really important. I was recently talking to Kerry D'Impragio, and he's of course been into body vivaxis for quite a long time, but he's now doing a lot of, as well, of going into much more detail and into microscopic levels, etc., and bringing about these very, very powerful changes. And so we're both sort of syncing on this, that to us, for both of us, we really feel this is a very major part of Body Talk in the future. And so this course is designed to give you the confidence to be able to do it. And even if you can't do it immediately, to give you the training and how to practice so that you can do it. So yeah, I strongly recommend it, because as far as I'm concerned, it's really one of the important techniques of Body Talk, and something that I'm very keen for everybody to be really good at. Okay, so I think it's a great course, and I really do encourage you to do it.